coordinator in advanced medical oncopathology service, and she has framed 53 policy guidelines for sickle cell diagnosis, cervical cancer, neonatal pneumonia, vaccination for rubella, etc. Adding feather to her crown, Dr. Kavita Rajashekar have coordinated the National Costing Study for Healthcare Services, Health Benefit Packages, Rationalization and Designing for Ayushman Bharat Program. It's a government program. She has published 161 research articles in various national and international journals, peer-reviewed journals, including e-books and manuals, and presented a paper in various national and international conferences. And she is a member of Technical Appraisal Committee in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, NHSRC, NDDC, etc. Dr. Kavita Rajashekar have been coordinating the health technology assessment in India, established and under development of health research. She is a doctoral committee member for 6 PhD students and co-guide for 3 PhD students in health policy and health economics. Before concluding, I would like to mention she is an alumni of Bharati Women's College Biochemistry Department in the year 1989 to 1992, and she is a classmate of Meenakshi ma'am. And she did her MSc Biochemistry in University of Madras and MPhil in Alagappa University. And she has done many certificate courses. Just to mention one, a certificate program on health technology assessment in UK. Here, what I have highlighted here, just a tip of the iceberg. Our biodata consists of 25 pages, for which I need 1 hour to read. Okay. With these few words, I welcome Dr. Kavita Rajashekar ma'am to deliver an invite lecture on apoptosis, necrosis and inflammatory factors for this urination on international seminar on neurodegenerative disease, a biochemical approach organized by the Department of Biochemistry, Bharati Women's College. I'll give a big round of applause and welcome her.
Thank you to everybody and good afternoon, girls. Being from Bharati Women's College and being Meenakshi's classmate, I thank Dr. Fatima, Dr. Meenakshi and all the faculty for inviting me. We gave you a long break, right? That was a God-given break. You know for what? I want to ask how many people face low back pain? Raise your hands. So different varieties of people in this room who have low back pain. And every day one amritanjan, one Vicks, one paracetamol, hot water fermentation, everybody does that, right? So now I'm going to start with a small story. The same thing happened with me when I was about 31 years. I had a baby girl and I was working with Delhi University. Every day low back pain. It was miserable for me to understand why am I having low back pain? What are the trigger factors for my low back pain? There were 2 questions inside my mind. Why am I having low back pain? When am I going to complete my PhD? So both of them, one was a low back pain, one was a headache. Right? So with these 2 questions, it kept lingering inside my mind. What am I doing? How am I going to cope up? Every day these questions will come inside a biochemistry student. Me and Meenakshi would have we would have spoken with each other. Right? The question I answered myself. Meenakshi answered herself. You must be studying cell biology, molecular biology, enzymes, metabolism, clinical biochemistry, physiology, your basic biochemistry. I'm going to talk about all this today. How did I bring all this today to solve one question? Why do I have a low back pain? All your biochemistry papers, I used it. I used every single study that I did. Carbohydrates, lipids, mucopolysaccharides, oxidative stress, apoptosis, necrosis. I sat with my guide and I said, ma'am, I'm not able to bear my low back pain. I went for an MRI. After an MRI, they told me you have disc herniation. I didn't even know the spelling of these two. What is disc herniation? I really didn't know the spelling of all these things. Then I said, okay. I was a assistant professor with the University of Delhi, teaching cell biology, molecular biology, enzymology for the children. Right? With an ambition to do medicine, we all landed up in biochemistry. All of us. How many people wanted to do medicine? All of us. Right? Didn't get medicine, all of us landed up in biochemistry, and you know, then that period, Mintards was the only college having biochemistry. My mother didn't even know where is Mintards. Okay, so I'm coming for admission. We wanted to apply biochemistry. I think the last few days, me and Meenakshi got admission. Okay, we got admission, we did BSc, we did MSc, we did lecturership, we did assistant professorship. Nothing worked. One thing worked was that why low back pain. I start my topic with this. With why low back pain, I went into the surgery room, got the surgery. One of my discs between L5, lumbar 5 and sacral 1 was removed in 2008. A seed was sown for me to do my PhD. Niranjali ma'am took me as a PhD student. The question both of us asked each other is, "Enna topic lama pannala?" So ma'am, last month I had my surgery, ma'am. She said, why don't we work on this? Very new topic, I have not worked on this at all. I'm telling you girls, start thinking. What is happening in your life could be a seed for you to do PhD. And when you do that PhD, maybe that is the path that is going to take you to the government of India, in the capital Delhi, and that took me there. So I start with that. So I started looking out for literatures, and you know, the surprising part was that it showed me a figure. 23 million cases of disc herniation happens every year. 23 million is a huge number. So it could be happening because of so many cases. I lifted a bucket today, I had a sprain, that is my low back pain. All of us are women, menstrual cycle gives me low back pain. Any urinary tract infection gives me low back pain. Pregnancy gives me low back pain. So low back pain was the one which drafted my career to reach the government of India. So I designed my PhD, you know, God gave me that opportunity not to listen to anybody, but to design the PhD on my own. I will show you the part how I designed it. I looked at what is spine that day after getting the surgery. I looked at what is the spine. The spine has 33 vertebrae. The vertebrae controls all your mobility. The vertebrae controls the neighboring spinal cords which are there. They will control your mobility, they will control your left arm movement, the right arm movement, and so on. Then I learnt between the two vertebrae, there is a soft tissue called as the intervertebral disc. And the surprising part is that 33 vertebrae, all 33 vertebrae do not have the intervertebral disc. Only 25 intervertebral discs are there. Maybe this is the size of the disc between your vertebrae. Then came the next question. What is intervertebral disc? It is a soft tissue, right? Soft tissue with a center slimy portion and an outside which is going to be a thick portion like your, a slightly thicker portion. So you call the outer portion as the, how do I use it? The outer portion is called as the annular fibrosis. And the inner portion is the nuclear pulposus, right? Right? And can you see this one? There are numerous kinds and varieties of intervertebral diseases. Out of those diseases, one disease is your disc herniation. That means, can you see that herniation? That means the disc has been moved from the vertebra and it is pressing the spinal cord. What actually happened to me was that I neglected my low back pain because many things were happening. my right arm became numb. That means that neural tissues were totally compressed. Within 15 minutes, it was just a 30-minute surgery, I came out of it. About 1 hour, I could regain my conscious. 15 minutes, I could get up and my right leg was moving. I was amazed. I was amazed because of this, and then I said, I'm doing my PhD on this. So I designed my PhD work, and during the designing, I said, what is the disc made up of? Each of you asked this question, a simple technical question work that you said, chromatography, electrophoresis, ELISA, microscopic techniques, your enzyme assays, everything, every single thing that I studied in biochemistry, I used it for my PhD work. So I understood what is the disc made up of. The annular fibrosis, which is the outer portion, was made up of water, dry weight, collagens, and it also had elastic fibers like fibronectin. So your mucopolysaccharides. All of them have come into work. The nuclear pulposus was made up of proteoglycans type 2 and type 9 collagen. I want each of you to look at each point. Collagen, fibronectin, elastic fibers. I used all this to frame my research question. Then I came to know a new thing. The disc is an avascular tissue. That means it has no blood vessels. All the blood has to come from the neighboring vertebrae. So there is an end plate here. There is an end plate here. To this and to this, all of this, there has to be some junction proteins. Did we study any junction protein? Have we studied any junction protein? Gap junctions, tight junctions. Meaning children, whatever simple thing that you're learning, you're reading, is having so much importance. Avascular tissues communicate with each other only by tight junctions and gap junctions. It just fascinated me. I was a teacher, it fascinated me possibly only at that time, but I'm asking you to think about it now. So the next question came, being an avascular tissue, that means the whole thing is going to be surrounded by oxidative stress because there is no blood vessel which is going to take out the reactive oxygen species. More of inflammation is going to happen. Then came my thing. So, when you open your notebook, you write all your errors. This is because of this. Glucose metabolism, glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase, a deficiency, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen, this will happen. We note it down in papers. I noted it like this. I said, this is my disc. There was herniation. What could play? I looked at factors which will play. The first factor that I looked at is inflammation a factor? Dr. Sam already pointed out inflammation is a factor, your elasticity is a factor, oxidative stress is a factor. So I also said, let me look at what other factors that play a role in this herniation. So the whole thing, I sat and wrote it in a paper. So let me look at inflammatory factors, reactive oxygen species, nitric oxide. Enzymes which are responsible for removing reactive oxygen species. All this you must be studying. Let me look if there is any other immunity stress. Let me look at simple things that is stress. Let me look at big things that is apoptosis.